Coming up next is Media News number 155. We're going to go around the world to bring you indie comics that are being made into movies and TV series, actually just movies. We're going to go to Japan for stories on Akira and Gigantor. We're going to go to England to do stories on Judge Dredd, and we're going to go to Central Europe to do stories on I, Frankenstein, all of which have been in comics, indie comics, and all of which are coming your way right after this.
Irrelevant, irreverent. I always get those two confused. These two are the reason why. Here's Comic Book Man and JR with Media News.
Sacrifice no social forwards. The arts forever. Media News, episode 155. Chromeberry Pie.
Hey folks, how you doing? Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. It's time for
Media News.
Media News. Media News is coming to you from this place, Alternate Reality, which is located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, where all new comics, including all my indie comics, are all 15% off every day for everyone. All of them. Every one. Every new indie comic that comes in the door, manga, Anglophile stuff from England, you know, whatever. It's all 15% off every day for everyone.
It's unheard of.
It's unheard of. No, it's right here. Anyway, this is an all indie comic media news. That's right, we're going to talk about nothing but independent comics that are being turned into movies or TV series here on this updates.
Here on Gilligan's Island.
Here on Gilligan's Island. And not only are we going to do that, but we're going to go around the globe with it, starting with the Far East.
Am I going to need shots?
Japan.
I'm going to have to get my shots if we're going around the world.
Maybe you'll need to get the blouse, but I don't know about shots. We're going to start with Akira. Akira. Warner's, okay, has been trying to do Akira in the worst way, literally, for quite some time now. Yeah, and you got an update.
You know, they've been banging this one around since the early 90s. And when you say the worst way, the first thing that comes to mind is they wanted to have Keanu Reeves star in it.
Oh, what could be worse?
Well, that's flushed. Warner Brothers has finally given, and we're doing a lot of table banging here because we're in front of a table. They've finally given a green light to this project. It's been greenlit by Warner Brothers, a live-action version of Akira set in New Manhattan, Comic Book Man.
New Manhattan.
Not Tokyo.
No, well.
No, not New Tokyo, New Manhattan.
Oh, I'm sure that all the folks over in Japan will be thrilled with that.
At this stage of the game, the star of last year's Tron Legacy, Garrett Hedlund, is considered the top forerunner for the lead.
Considerably cheaper, I would assume, than Keanu Reeves, too.
Well, this film was originally, this was one of the sticking points.
That was one of the things that killed it, I think.
It was one of the things that killed it was Keanu Reeves, when he was attached to it, the film was going to cost well over $150 million to produce. Warner's balked at it big time. The budget is now down to $90 million. Now, if any of you out there, and if you,
that's awfully cheap for a movie like Akira.
If you've seen Akira, you know that $90 million is going to be a tough one to pull off for this thing.
Yeah, how are they going to manage that?
I don't know, but Leonardo DiCaprio.
Moving on.
Leonardo DiCaprio is producing the film because he's a big Akira fan. Yeah. $90 million. Shooting kicks off in late February, early March of next year. I can't see how they're going to do it for that price. But,
no, that seems ridiculously cheap.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lot of scaling back in New Manhattan. I think it's going to be a small borough.
Well, they'll spend a lot of time in someone's apartment.
I guess. that'll
looking out the window.
That's going to be terribly exciting.
Shooting it on their iPhone.
My dinner with Akira.
Looking out the window at a matte painting on the wall.
So look for a cheap Akira coming.
It'll look like Terra Nova.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, staying in Japan, staying in the Far East, there is another manga franchise out there. A manga franchise that this man here and I have close to our hearts for a specific reason.
Yes.
And that franchise is
Gigantor.
Look
it up on YouTube. It's one of the best theme songs ever for any
Gigantor, the space age robot. He's at your command, Gigantor.
Great theme song.
Grew up with that here in Chicago. Ray Randall used to run that. I used to watch it on Rocket to Adventure. Remember Rocket to Adventure?
Yes, sir.
Gigantor, The Adventures of Superman, and some other Japanese thing, which everybody loved. Everybody loved. No, it wasn't Speed Racer. It was a cyborgy type guy.
Yes, it
was. Astro Boy?
No, not Astro Boy. It was something else.
Help us out there.
Nope. No, that's not it.
But anyway, Brian
He looks like a
Barber.
giant thermos.
Yeah,
Gigantor, he's like a giant
he's like a
thermos.
giant thermos.
Yeah.
They could make thermos gigantors for.
Yes, they
One,
could.
one
Yes,
leg
they
it
could.
hot, one leg would be cool.
Brian Barber, who is a former music video director, did a lot of Outkast's music videos,
Yeah.
has bought the rights to Gigantor, lock, stock, and barrel.
Okay.
Movie, video games, merchandising, the whole thing. He's actually out of pocket making a 6-minute, what they call a sizzle reel, to sell Gigantor to the movie studios.
Okay.
He has come up with an idea to do a feature film version for $60 million,
Okay.
which, you know, that's not bad considering it's just a giant robot with a kid who rides around on him. That's not...
If you don't know what Gigantor is, here's the genius of Gigantor. And you
genius
have
of
to
Gigantor.
you have to be 5 to buy into this. If you are not 5 or 6, you are not going to buy into this at all. So it's sort of a built-in audience of old farts like him and me. But Gigantor was this robot that's probably about the same size as Godzilla. What, like 300 stories tall or something?
Yes, sir.
Because Godzilla ain't no 40-story King Kong. Godzilla's like 300 stories
He's
tall.
big. He's a big boy.
Gigantor's the same size. And you know what? He's a robot that's being run, not by people inside of Gigantor, because he's a robot.
No.
He's not one of these things where they
No.
got like 8 people inside running him. He's got a little 8-year-old kid with a box running
Well,
this robot.
as I remember the origin...
Which is brilliant.
Wasn't
Give
Gigantor...
it to an 8-year-old.
Wasn't Gigantor created by the government as sort of a protection? He's
Yeah,
got a lot of weapons
yeah.
on him and stuff, and the kid gets...
Oh, he's got a ton of weapons on.
and the kid gets...
And
all
an
the
8-year-old's
controls.
running it. That's what's great about it.
They're pals. They pal around together.
Yeah.
But this is the concept, and Brian Barber, the director and owner of the rights, has said that, and maybe this is the way to look at it. The way he sees it as Transformers meets Goonies. That is how he is approaching the material, and
That's
that is
okay.
as relevant
That might
as I
work.
can. Yeah, that might work.
Do you still have the Gigantor figure? In the
We
case?
have-
No,
yes,
I do.
Come
I
in and
still
buy
have Gigantor.
Gigantor.
I'm gonna take a shot of it.
I still have Gigantor figure.
Remind me to take a shot.
But the director is putting out of pocket together a trailer, a 6-minute trailer to sell to studios, and you know this could work. I mean, it's goofy, but it could work. Why
Okay.
not?
Now we're going to get on our plane. We're going to fly over to jolly old England.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun. All right.
We don't even know. It's not Doctor Who. It's not. Don't get all worked up. It's not Doctor Who. It's that other great franchise from England, Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd.
The Judge Dredd movie is getting ready to open sometime soon.
Yeah, I think it's next summer.
Sometime soon, and it's
It's in trouble.
oh,
Oh,
really?
no. Don't say it.
It's in trouble. Yeah.
No.
The word is that the director of the film, Peter Travis, has walked off the film. They're in post production.
Man, that's never a good sign.
They're in post production. They're editing the film right now, and the word is that
Don't
Travis,
tell me Urban's pulling a Sean Connery.
No, Urban has nothing to do with the problems that they're having. I guess the deal is between Pete Travis, the director, and the studio over the edit of the film. The studio's not happy with the edit.
What's wrong with it?
They're not saying, but Travis has walked off the project. The producer and writer of the film, Alex Garland, has stepped in
Yeah.
to be his replacement. He's not asking for a co-director credit or anything like that. He's just doing the edit. Right now, everybody's trying to make nice over at the studio. Pete Travis is actually kind of keeping tabs through Garland, through email and all that sort of thing as to what's going on. But right now...
This sounds like the same thing that happened with League of Extraordinary
yeah,
Gentlemen.
exactly.
Can I tell you a story of
But
another
the
movie
star
that
was
happened?
the problem there.
Godfather. Same thing happened on the Godfather. too.
This is true, yeah.
Big
Paramount
star, they
and
didn't like
Francis
the fir- they didn't
Coppola
like the
did
first
not
cut.
like the... Yeah, exactly.
He was crying
That's
about
true.
it. It's the same story.
But chances are the Judge Dredd
It won't be
movie
as good as
will
the
not be a Godfather when it comes into movie history.
I'm just hoping for possibilities.
So, you know, how this is going to turn out.
Well, that's too bad. I did see Judge Dredd turn into the Punisher of of
very
that
true.
franchise.
Sorry,
Very
got
true.
bad market against it.
Where you think that you could make a decent film out of it because it's not that complicated a concept,
No.
and they keep screwing
And it
up.
all looked good because the character was going to be in the helmet throughout the whole
Yeah.
thing and all that, but who knows how this is going to turn out. Hopefully for the best, but we'll see.
Okay, last story we got. Frankenstein, as everyone knows, comes from Central Europe, so we're going to fly down to Transylvania
Oh my
and
God.
do a story on I, Frankenstein,
Yes, I, Frankenstein.
which is based on Indie Comic.
Yeah, it's a Stuart Beatty's comic to feature Stuart Beatty's writing the screenplay based on Kevin Grevioux, and if those of you know, Kevin Grevioux created the Underworld franchise, which is stinky, but that's a whole other it's a whole other thing.
Got a new one coming out Christmas.
Yeah, they have a new one coming out at Christmas. The only,
Hey,
the
you
only
know,
thing that makes those.
whoa, wait, was a chick in leather
Yeah,
with
she's
guns?
yeah, and she's
what more
and
do
she's
you
quite
want?
gorgeous.
A hot chick in
She's-
leather with
She's
guns.
quite gorgeous too.
4 movies in count.
Yeah, 4 movies in count because they make them cheap and they sell
She's
right
always
on
my
DVD.
mother. Good
As
old
long as she puts on the outfit and you give her a gun that works, there's your expense right there.
But from the same creator of Underworld now comes I, Frankenstein.
I, Frankenstein. Yes.
Man, and I guess what happens is that the monster has survived to modern day
Of course he has. You can't kill him.
due to some weird genetic quirk in his creation, and
It's
he
called public domain.
makes his way.
He has the miracle of public domain in his DNA.
He makes his way to a dark Gothic metropolis that is unnamed.
Oh.
And he finds himself caught in a centuries-old war between two immortal clans. Sounds ridiculous.
Clans?
Clans.
Okay.
Clans. Sounds
Is
a
this-
little
is this
like
like
Highlander.
werewolf
a little
clans,
bit,
or is
a
this-
little bit? No. It sounds like Highlander meets Frankenstein is what it sounds
okay.
like to
Oh,
me.
he doesn't open a nightclub and solve mysteries.
No, but Aaron Eckhart, who played Harvey Two-Face
Yes.
in The Dark Knight,
Harvey Two-Face.
is going to be playing Frankenstein.
Playing Frank. Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
He will be playing the monster, the immortal monster.
Has he talked to Robert De Niro on get pointers on how to play Frankenstein's monster?
I don't know, but
Since they shaved off half his face
he
with a
will,
movie
he
role,
will
might
be.
as well do it.
That's true. He will be stepping
Well,
in.
he has experience in having his face all messed up from Two-Face.
Exactly.
Shave
No
it off
problem.
again, go ahead.
He will be stepping into the concrete bricklayer's boots
Yeah.
of many actors previously. So there you go.
Okay.
There we have traversed the world, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it. We've taken you around the world to do
In
indie
80
comics
and it
news.
didn't take us 80 days.
And what did it cost you? Nothing.
Nothing. It was
Nothing.
free.
But
Jerk.
you can go to the store's website any day of the week for free and see all the media news that Bo sends me that I post up. Where's the store's website at? Jeff, where's the store's website?
Yes, comic book man.
Where?
Store's
Can you
website.
tell us-
I knew this once.
Come on. It starts with a Sarah.
Yeah, let's just ask Sarah.
He can remember a comic book from 20 years ago, but he can't remember the name of his own web address. www.myalternatereality.com.
So there you go. Stop off at the store's website. Until next time, this is Comic Book Man
And this is good old.
saying bye.
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.